I just wish you were like slightly better.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Books and Betches. This is the episode where I quit.
Sorry.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have some fucking assholes on a couch. Thanks for coming to my basement. Maybe I'll just talk to you. Let's just pretend they're
Kristen's
not here.
gonna cut our mic.
This is it. Yeah, actually, let me
I'm
turn
the
their
one that
microphones
edits them,
off.
so I don't know what you're cutting.
Oopsie.
Welcome
I keep us up the entire time.
I'm Kristen. To my left, I have Erica, and then preceding her, we have Maria.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. This is This is a book podcast where we swear, we spoil, we talk about sex, and we suck at
We
it.
suck at all of it.
But this week we're doing one of our topics, so it's not
Or
book.
a couple of
We're
topics.
doing like multi-top. Like I don't even know what I'm gonna title
We're doing
this, to be honest.
Instagram.
Inquiry topics.
Yeah, inquiry topics.
I don't know. So basically what I did, I don't remember when I did it, but like maybe 2 weeks ago, I posted something on the stories and I was like, hey, we decided we're not going to do the Fabio book because we could only get it as
Rest
like
in
a
peace.
paperback because they don't have a Kindle version of it. And instead we're going to input like, you know, maybe a topic of some sort. And then so many of you wrote in topics that now we're like, let's just like do quick little like 5 minutes on like, or a couple of thoughts
Rapid fire.
on
Here we go.
some of these
Topic
topics.
rapid
Like
fire.
the opposite of Fabio.
We are still going to do the Fabio one, but in
Fabio
a different capacity. So,
Fabio, more like, nah, we won't.
okay. All right.
Maybe you should quit.
You've been hazed. That's
So
never mind.
one person said, which book boyfriend is toxic AF, but we love them anyway?
Which big boyfriend?
Which big dick?
Guess what? This is
Which
the one right after
book
lunch.
boyfriend
This
is toxic as fuck. First of all, first thing that comes to mind is we've read so many books with toxic men, and I don't think I liked any of them.
There's really not like, unless you're going for like the wholesome romance genre, like a lot of my book boyfriends are not okay.
Okay, give me
Oh,
some
yeah,
names.
you might have all of the names for us.
No, but like literally any Immortals After Dark book is like super, they're all bad guys.
Well, who's the first one you think of?
Lothair.
I knew you were going to say Lothair. It's your favorite one. I have to read
I
that
fucking
book.
love Lothair.
What book
Can
is
I read that as a standalone?
It's not as good as a standalone, but
What do I have to read first? Do I have to read like 5 books?
no, because he's just like one of those players that's like, so the Immortals After Dark is like a bunch of standalones, and he's just like
Sprinkled.
a bad guy in some of the other books. So like he's one of those ones where you're like, I'm waiting for his
He's
book.
like a Klaus, and you have to find him at the
Yeah.
end.
What about you? Do you have
Damn.
a book boyfriend that's
I'm
toxic?
trying. I need to go through my read books to remember what I
I'm
fucking
going
read.
by like ratings.
I just feel like I have such a hard time like
There was-
liking toxic people.
I saw a girl be like, I would be fine with Tamlin.
Tamlin is so funny. And like I said, somebody needs to check on her.
I would not be okay with Tamlin.
I can't even admit.
I don't like blondes.
I liked
A
Tamlin
lot of
to
people
start.
say Reese is toxic.
I don't think so.
I don't either.
In what way?
I
Give
don't
me an
either.
example.
I think I have to reread that before I answer that question.
Yeah, that's fair. Actually,
been a while since
that's
I've read
a really
it.
good point. I'm trying to. Yeah,
I
I don't know that I've read any toxic men. Think
don't
back
know,
to
like
the books
I
that
think
we've read.
I think it's so messed up that we like reading fantasy romance, like want to put like men in like the human men box. You know what I mean? Like
no,
these
I
are
don't.
like
I actually don't know. What you mean.
their lived experiences are so
Yes.
much different in the fantasy realm that they're in. So like the violence, the this, the
Oh,
that,
oh,
like
That's a very interesting point you're making.
Yeah.
like you are crafted by your environment. So
Yeah.
obviously these guys are not gonna be like
Yeah.
human fucking dudes
So you're
who are
being
going
like
to a 9-to-5 fucking job on Wall Street.
It's just some random,
he's,
finance
he's
bro.
literally cutting down orcs.
you sound like you're
and-
being a toxic man apologist.
maybe. If I am, then what are you gonna do?
Absolutely nothing. It's all made up. That's the glory of
It
it.
is all made up.
I could tell you who I wouldn't. Definitely not Z from Haunting Adeline. I think he's the worst of them all.
He's definitely not your favorite.
No, I can't think of a single one, guys. I
I'm
really
looking through
can't.
my
Okay.
stuff and I'm trying to figure out who's my favorite.
I can't contribute to this. I don't know if I've read
okay,
enough.
how about other podcasts you listen to?
No, I want to answer this
Um,
question.
Maria wants
you
to
can
answer
come
the
back to
question.
it.
Other podcasts I listen to? Not that many, to be honest with you. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of like comedy podcasts. I like Tiger Belly. Sometimes I listen to Stuff You Should Know. I love a good
I love Stuff You Should
I
Know.
love a good educational podcast
too.
every once in a while. Learn something new for the day. Do you know they said that every single day you learn at least one new thing?
I hope so.
Do you think
Yeah.
that's true?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like you have to.
We just got a bunch of fun facts for Knight and I, or Knight
Yeah.
the King, whatever.
That's
it's called.
true. That's true.
It's Knight's Tale.
We
I got it.
What?
Joe Goldberg.
Who's
Okay.
Joe Goldberg?
from you.
From
Oh
you.
God. Oh, I got another one. Hannibal.
No, he's not a book boyfriend.
Could be, depending on how you look at
Well,
it.
actually, Joe Goldberg's not a book boyfriend either. If we think about
I think
it,
he would kill you.
he would definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not be smart enough for Joel
So-
Goldberg.
We watch Pardon My Take, or sorry, we listen to Pardon My Take a
Oh.
lot.
What's part of my take?
That's a Barstool with the two dudes. It's their sports one.
Yeah.
And the reason we do is because like they're 35, they have kids, they're not they're not like true Barstool, right? Like they're our age, John's age, like my husband's age, and they're just like fucking two dudes that just like
Is
laugh.
Roan in that?
Roan?
Roan. The Barstool guy, Roan, but he
No.
used to be a rapper. Oh, okay. Never mind.
And like they bring in people like Mark Wahlberg and like big names and like they've had all the different types of football players, basketball players, baseball players, and sports analysts. They have Joe Buck on there all the time, and some of them like are so humanized in a way that like they just like they ask questions that they can't ask on like Sports Center or something. You know what I mean?
I
like
love
it's
that.
just
Yeah.
so if you just listen to their like interviews with the famous people that are on their show, like that's worth it
That's cool.
because they were just like funny.
I only listened to Last Podcast on the Left.
I got into Last Podcast on the Left because of you, Maria.
Is that the
it
true
must have
crime? Is
been
that true
Garrett.
crime?
Yeah.
No, it's because of you. You told me about they did the Oppenheimer thing.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
I listened to the whole fucking Manhattan
love
Project
them.
on our drive to North Carolina. It was like 17 hours. We listened to like that whole.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
They've gone through some controversy recently because of one of the hosts, but I still love the show. I still love the whole.
I could tell you where I got the inspiration. Once we started doing this podcast, I was like, I listened to this podcast. Like, this is how I know book podcast existed back in the day. When I was a janitor at one of the schools around here and I needed something to listen to, it was when I was first getting into books. And I was like, I wonder if anybody talks about books because I don't want to read them, but I want to know the story.
Yeah.
I stumbled upon this podcast called Overdue, and it's literally two dudes.
Oh, you've sent me these guys before.
And they just talk about a book. Usually they're classics. It's like books
I wonder
you should
if
have read.
it's like I wonder if people do that for us. Like they're like, I don't want to read this book.
It's true.
But like
maybe.
the Betches
We're not the
will-
ones to do.
These guys go really into the
They're
story.
in depth. I
It's
heard they
the
did
whole
that.
story.
Didn't they do one for Twilight?
Yeah, and I'm like, this is great because I'm cleaning and it's like I'm getting the book without having to read the book. So Overdue
Like
is
you're
actually
getting,
a
like-
big inspiration for me and why we do this.
Yeah, I think
I definitely don't listen to any other book podcasts at all.
That's the only one that I listen to.
I don't really listen to a ton of podcasts. I loved Serial.
yeah, Serial was our jam.
Serial had us in a
I-
chokehold when it
Remember,
came out. Yes.
we were working at WWE.
We were all
like,
together.
gather.
Oh my God.
We would talk about it weekly.
my
It was
gosh. You know
what
our
it
thing.
is?
That was
is-
big.
You know what Serial did that no other podcast has been able to recapture? Also, a shit town though too.
Yeah,
Is like the storytelling style.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know
with
what I
that.
mean? Like you have it's presented in a way that's like two-sided.
They
give-
created a new narrative for podcasts that we had never seen before.
Yes, so documentaries by nature are meant like if you watch it, and this is like true facts. If you watch a documentary, there is a reason why that documentary is being made, and it's to convince you of one point or another. That is. I took a documentary class that is like there's a fucking style to it,
Yeah.
and that is the ultimate goal is to convince you whatever that side that director or producer wants you to feel.
Right.
It's the same thing with some of these like true crime episodes, podcasts,
Oh,
and stuff. Right? Like
1000%.
it's documentary style
Yep.
with an intention to make you come away with a singular feeling.
1000%.
And what Serial did was make you sit there and go, I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
There
I
was still
don't
a
know.
few biases and I think she mentioned
But I
them.
think you felt it along with her.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
like she
Exactly.
felt herself getting involved,
Which is
too
a human
much.
experience
It was
too. Because
very
like,
well
An
done.
experience of like I don't
Yeah.
I don't see a killer in front of me.
Good journalism. And journalism we should
truly
lean
just
into.
like top tier journalism,
Yeah.
which we don't get. And you know what? That that it was produced over so many years.
I mean, a
right?
lot of
So-
like NPR stuff I think is pretty interesting. They have a lot of like side projects that they do that are really good.
I like NPR. Like I like listen to their news.
but
podcasts
the
every day.
story itself was so enthralling.
I've got a great podcast. If you like Hallmark, this was one of my, I'm not kidding, this is what got me into Hallmark movies. Deck the Hallmark. These dudes sit down.
There's always two dudes.
No, there's like, I think there's 3 of them. These men or 4, they sit down, they watch Hallmark movies, and then they do like, they actually have like a 60-second type vibe too. I think they would do something like that where they do the whole plot.
Do they?
It's
Really?
it's very funny. I've been listening to them forever. And actually one of my friends, Ryan, who I've worked with, is now on their podcast
Oh,
occasionally.
because he has this movie that came out, or it's gonna come out, right?
No. He's just like a normal, he's just
I thought he wrote the movie, the Hallmark movie that was big and picked up. Who did that?
No. I have friends that made comics. That's Steve that did the comic
No.
book.
Who's the person that wrote a whole ass like Hallmark script and was gonna get like picked up?
I have no idea. Was that me?
Definitely was one of your friends.
I don't know. I know he's always wanted to write one, but I don't know that
I feel like there was one that he was like he got picked, not even picked up, but like maybe someone talked to him about it, like a producer type of thing.
I don't know.
A couple years ago at this rate.
No, this is like, but it's cool because that vibe is like kind of what I love about.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only listen to last. I don't listen to anything else.
Well,
Okay.
if you like
I'm gonna
Hallmark,
swerve
go to that
this.
one.
Libraries.
Love them.
What about him?
So I'm gonna
Just
have I'm gonna
libraries?
have a really hot take here.
Uh-oh.
I'm so fucking tired of people like when somebody's like books are too expensive. This is like this, and people the comment section is just like go to your library. It's like one, libraries are not super easily accessible for books. Like these books have 12-week wait times. 2, 90% of the books that I read are not in a fucking library.
You have to go request them. That's what they're gonna tell you to do.
Can't you
But-
do it online though?
I don't know if you can. Can you request books online?
I think there must be a way.
Well, isn't there apps for you to wait for books to read?
Yeah,
like,
but it's
digitally?
like
The
you know what I
wait
mean.
time.
So
But,
like
like,
the
just-
wait times, like it's not just like as easy as like you get free books whenever you want.
To put it
Yeah.
in perspective, the second the Fourth Wing sequel, I put the hold on that months ago.
Smart.
So my hold should hopefully be one of the first ones for my
But
library.
it could not be too.
But it could not be.
But I just hate like there is a like you know what I mean. It just that's not the solution to everything. Is libraries.
My hot take is that
I think libraries are great.
I've changed. So as a kid, I didn't like libraries
I
because
always loved libraries.
I didn't like how people treated books.
Yeah.
So I would pick up a book and it would have rips and writings.
love like an old
no,
book.
no, absolutely not. If it's my own book, sure, because I've lived that book.
Yeah.
But unless I go out and choose to get that from
I
like
love-
a thrift store kind of thing, fine. But a library, I expect you to treat that book like I'm gonna treat it. And so I got
They
very
don't.
upset as a kid when I saw mistreated books and grimy and just like the germs of it
I
all.
love like
you know?
the crinkly of the front
No,
cover
I hated those
Same.
covers.
and like
Ugh.
the thick
I love it, too.
pages.
I'm better
Feels
now.
worn
I'm
in.
better now with libraries,
Yeah.
but as a kid, I was not.
Some of my best memories are just like walking through giant
Yeah.
like
No,
book.
my
love
best memories was
libraries.
Scholastic Book Fair when I got to buy
Love
them.
that too.
I think we should be hanging out in libraries more, doing shit more in libraries.
Well, I told you
and,
when I
like,
was fucking
Tennessee, yeah.
homeless in Tennessee, I lived in a library for about a week and nobody
think
said a
it's great.
fucking word. They
My
okay,
library's
wait.
pretty good.
Have you ever hooked up with somebody in a library?
No.
No.
We used to in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that was never a thing.
like American movie.
Yeah.
There was never
such
like a time that we.
I
would've been
haven't
able
had
to
like
do that.
sex in my school, but
No,
like
no.
hooked up.
But yeah, that's why I was trying to think. I was like, if I like kiss somebody in a
like
library,
maybe
I
like
don't
a
know.
hot makeout session. Yeah.
I don't know actually. I don't think so. I can't picture my high school. Have I been in my high school library?
That's weird.
I could picture my middle school library perfectly. I like genuinely, I'm not kidding. I can't picture the library in my high school at all right now. Like
Okay.
not even a little bit.
I can.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You're making her have a moment.
But like I've cleaned the school.
Okay. Any book
mind, I remember.
community tea?
It's very small.
Say that again?
Book community tea.
Oh jeez.
I don't care.
Erica, you're the only one who stays on
has the
top of.
tea.
Okay, first of all, my TikTok does not serve me a single thing of book anything.
I don't get the original, whatever. Like I get like
What?
people talking about it.
Oh.
Oh.
Like because I'll scroll through my
You
friends.
see the outrage. You don't see the.
Well, I'll
what,
scroll
the
through my
trigger.
like
Makes
friend, like the people I follow. We follow book like some book accounts, but then I'm like I don't know what they're
You
talking
say
about.
we. It's
So it's on
you know.
Instagram that you see it a lot.
No,
No, I see it on TikTok sometimes, like on the follow page, like the
Yeah, that's the
following.
thing. I never am in it or seeing it. So when you post about it and you tell us some of the stuff going on, I'm like, this is asinine that there's a world
Book Talk Tea
where
is
people
like,
even give a fuck about half of this stuff.
I don't
I'm
get
like
it.
living a completely separate life over here, and maybe I'm privileged and I don't have to worry about the problems of Book Talk.
I'm allowed to turn it off.
But if you're gonna fight over how many words somebody reads, like, come on, dude, go fucking get
There's
a life.
a lot of just like
Sorry.
angry, there's a lot of just like angry people out there in the world.
There's so many other things to
and
be
it's
angry
just
about.
like, yeah, there's so many other things.
I get
to
we
be
could do it
angry
all at
about.
once, but Jesus Christ, man, people
But
are
I
just
do
mad
think
all
I do
the
think
time.
that like the rage farming that happens, like
it's pure rage
it
farming.
desensitizes people to the real issues in a lot of ways. And I know that it's hard to sit there and go, well, one issue is more important than another. But it's like, well, what's the fallout of that? Now you have people that don't give a shit about anything because you've made everything a big deal. So what's the lesser of, like, you want everyone to care about everything. They don't have the capacity to do that.
No.
So what is the solution here?
It's overwhelming.
Just think
Yeah.
that your opinion doesn't always have to be heard. The amount of times that I've typed something up in response to somebody out of
And
anger
deleted it.
and then deleted it,
Me too.
where I've like stopped and I'm like, what is this accomplishing? Because this
Nothing.
person isn't going to change their mind.
No.
People reading it don't give a fuck, or they're just going to get more mad. Like, what is this truly accomplishing besides letting out your anger and
That's
being mad
my
at somebody
my
online?
thought process with all things social media is that what does this serve?
Exactly.
And if it doesn't serve anything that well, I don't do anything with it. So
I
just
mean,
worry
about
I have such
yourself.
I have such a hard time even with like us what we post sometimes, right? I like
Yeah.
I look at a video and I'm like, why does this fucking matter? Like like why am I posting this? So like what is this contributing to society?
Listen, I know we're meant to like, promote ourselves and like if you don't want to just not even touch the Instagram anymore, don't.
I don't give a fuck.
I know. It's,
Honestly, no, I'm
it's
dead
tough.
ass. I am dead ass. Get rid of it.
I
And we'll keep what we have here. I love you all that are already here. If you found us, you found us. If you didn't, you didn't. Whatever. But you don't have to be on the socials. Don't make another reel to save your
I
life.
think
It's
the
fine.
next time I have a baby, which I'm not pregnant right now, but the next time I do have a baby, I think I'm gonna delete everything.
delete it.
Yeah, I don't
I
blame
think
you.
I think I'm just gonna start my like new
Social free life.
like social free
Yeah.
environment like that.
But as far as like the book tea goes, like I said, don't know
I'm
anything
not
about
like
it.
super involved in it. Like
Is
I
there
see,
anything like
the-
because you just posted a whole bunch the other
what did I post about again?
I had like 8 different things you were telling us about.
You were talking about people who are just saying their opinions that don't really matter. Like people who think audiobooks
Like what's going on
aren't books.
right now?
Oh, so there was a author that was like publishing is the self-publishing is
publishing.
the easy way, and like you shouldn't do it, and like it diminishes like
But it's like,
traditional
why did that
publishing.
person have to say that?
I don't know. And then she apologized and she's like, I deleted the video. It's not what I meant. And it's like, well, I
Yes,
don't know
it
how
is.
you
Just keep it to yourself.
like whatever. But
you
at
can
the
think
at the
that all
end
you want.
at the
but
end
just don't
of the
tell
day,
people.
it's like, who gives a shit what this random lady in probably like Kentucky, like, you know what I mean? Like she's 5,000 miles away from you.
That's
You know what I mean? Like she's not. She
another
probably
wild
doesn't even
thing.
leave her
Yeah.
house. She probably just goes to the local fucking.
I wanna
cable,
read-
like.
But it's that thing now where your phone and your social media, it can now become your job.
Yeah.
So now you think that every thought you have could be that viral moment that gets you all the views, that gets you the monetization.
That's the thing is like people
So they're
start
like,
saying
oh, a hot take will get me a lot of
these
engagement.
salacious things to just get views.
I want to
and then
reiterate
it's-
that that's what we're talking about here, like this surface level. We're not talking about like deep shit that we actually need to like be discussing,
Yeah.
big heavy hitting topics that like, you know, we're talking about surface level. Indie publishing is a lot easier. Like
Audiobooks
are
aren't
not
real books.
like that's what we're
and-
discussing here.
Yeah,
I want to like give that. I want to like make sure you understand the
That
context
caveat.
of everything that we just said leading
Yeah.
up to it is very much just talking about
on
surface levels.
level stuff. Of
Yeah,
like
we're not getting
this
into
person-
the deeper shit where I
This
think it
person
is
said
important.
this. Dark romances are toxic.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
like it's like oh
I
my
should
God,
have said
it's
that at the
just-
beginning there, but because I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about this surface level like bullshit that just like
that takes away
Like,
from what's
come-
actually happening in the world.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's all. It's
But that's what I mean.
stupid.
Like I think there are a lot of topics that need to be discussed within
Yes.
books.
Yes.
But I also and this is my true soapbox moment is I see a lot of people talk about the heavy hitting shit
Yeah.
and they don't talk about it in other media.
Mm.
And they don't talk about they love to talk about intersectionality when it comes to like women and racism and like homophobia and transphobia, but they don't talk about how books intersect with the rest of media.
Right.
So like the intersectionality is only like valid in this one sector, but like let's talk about how movies and television and radio and all of these, like, you know, the social media aspect of everything and YouTube, how all of these things are contributing to like bigger issues, right?
1000%.
So like there is more of a problem, and I do see some people talk about those heavy hitting things, and they very openly like things that I think are very not fucking okay to like anymore. Like I don't think reality TV is something we should be watching anymore. I think it's like, you know what I mean? Like there are some very like ethical things that I think are very questionable that people still contribute to in society, and we're not addressing that because we're talking about fucking whether or not traditional publishing is.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like you're wasting space.
Exactly.
In my opinion,
I
you know?
agree.
So, but
It's just such trivial bullshit. That's all.
it is what it is. What are you gonna
What's
do?
our next topic? Make it a nice one.
Worst tropes and personal triggers.
Worst tropes and personal triggers.
I can't do dead family.
I'm learning that I
stuff.
can't either anymore.
Like I can't do. Like I'm having a hard time with
no,
like.
it's okay. It's totally fine.
What?
I was
No,
just said
it's not
I'm
okay.
learning that triggers me too. I didn't know
I
that.
don't like that.
Yeah,
Until
I
recently.
am.
Well, we hadn't really read anything that
I
has
know.
like a dead parent in it.
Yeah.
If it's
this
the
was actively
main,
happened.
like if it
That
happens,
really threw me for a
I'm
loop.
sorry.
No, it's totally
I
fine.
didn't know because I mentioned the book, so
Divine Rivals?
yeah.
Oh, it's totally fine.
I brought it up
yeah.
to us.
It's just like a moment that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, maybe I do have a trigger. Maybe I,
I
can't
would
read
too.
dead parent. I just didn't know. But
If I'm honest, whenever I see a dead parent, I think of your mom.
yeah, that was like that one was rough. So that I guess is my trigger. But you said dead relatives too.
like
then.
dead relative or
Or
as
like
a
a thing,
main
yeah.
plot point. Like
Yeah.
in Divine Rivals, I was fine with it, but
Yeah.
like as like a this is their problem throughout the whole.
Oh, like the
thing,
overarching
or
Is there-
reason.
Is there
Yeah.
books like a lot of books like that? I know there's
I,
movies.
there
Or
are
hundreds
there
of-
are like
True.
She's come across it.
you know what I
True.
mean, and I really am not cool with like pregnancy stuff.
I don't
anymore
like
either.
pregnancy
That's
stuff.
the one when we were because we had listened or read Colleen Hoover's book when you were pregnant, and as
The
soon as
Verity.
yes, and as soon as that scene came up, like I was like triggered by it for you. I was like, fuck, Erica's
Yeah.
pregnant. Like I can't even imagine what she'd be going through reading this right now. And I was like putting myself in your shoes because pregnancy scares the shit out of me.
I don't want to read it anymore. Like
Yeah.
and to be honest, like there's a lot of books that have pregnancy
yeah,
crazy
like
stuff.
a
like, and
lot
it's
of
just
them.
like what the fuck.
and shows and movies, like you can't really escape it. However, I did read recently that pregnancy is like the most dangerous thing that somebody can go through. I'm just saying like pregnancy is a very dangerous thing already. So to read about it, I would imagine is very triggering, especially as a pregnant person, like when you're pregnant.
I don't really have any other triggers other than like I'm avoiding those topics right now, and I think like my emotions have changed a little bit.
Oh, I got one. Any animal being
Dying.
injured or hurt, or even when a movie or a book has an animal, it like when they found the cat in Divine Rivals, I was like, no, please no. It's like in a really bad time
survived.
for them to have a cat. I was stressed.
I hate
Stressed.
when, and I hate this in movies too. And like the Avengers addresses it, which I like, is like when shit happens in like a city and they just fucking destroy half the city.
Oh,
and
I
they're
can't
like
stand that.
all of the dogs, all of the cats, all of these like
all I could think about.
You know what I mean? Like all of these people are dead. Like imagine you're just doing your job and fucking.
That was my problem with
like-
Man of Steel. I got so mad at that movie. And Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
them.
they're just like there's people living in those buildings.
I
Like,
Yep.
they use them as like toys and like figurines,
Props.
and it's like there's living things inside of there.
I
It's
get
like
stressed.
Stitch in Lilo and Stitch when he creates the world and just like, wow.
But like any type of animal dying is very not. I hate it.
I get
hate it
stressed
more
so
in
easily.
movies.
Even what was that movie, The Hangover? When the baby came into the mix, I was so stressed that they were gonna like hurt the baby or something was gonna happen to the baby.
Pregnancy, I feel like that.
I feel like that when that movie came out in theaters. I was like sitting there and I was like, why do they have to do this? Now I'm stressed.
I just watched that movie for the first time like a couple months ago.
It's just weird.
Wild.
Why do
When
I
you're-
feel that way?
I feel so much more stress when children are involved in anything now.
To me, it's animals all day. Like, don't even put an animal in the book because
like
I
it.
don't want to read about it. If it gets hurt, I'm gonna be not well. So that's my triggers.
Worst
I don't think I
tropes.
have any. I don't think I have any triggers that I know of besides the pregnancy one. Obviously, that's like my biggest
That's always been your thing.
issue.
That's more a trope thing, though.
It's more a trope.
That's more a trope, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've read enough books that have triggered me
Mm.
to know what my triggers are.
Yeah,
And I
don't
hope
know
to
either.
never find out.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Tropes that I hate.
Pregnancy, 1,000%. Can't stand it.
I don't think anything should be illegal. Like I don't think you should
Can't
ban
wait to hear what
things.
comes after this.
But I
What
do
a
think
precursor here.
I think that sometimes you have to sit there and ask, should this be in the world?
All right, let's hear it. What?
I don't understand why people write or read like teenagers fucking teachers.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay.
16-year-olds fucking a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know how you justify that, even saying it's fiction.
A dad, a fucking stepdad of like
Yeah,
it's,
I don't listen.
I
don't-
can't
as
do
a-
it.
As someone who's read some, yeah, it's fucking
Taboo.
The one that I would not read is that one that's she's a gymnast or whatever, and she's 14 and it's her
Yeah.
coach.
What the
Again,
fuck?
like,
It starts
I
off
don't-
with that. People love that series.
it's
But
so,
I've read one where it's a college student.
That gives me
who,
that guy.
like,
college is okay.
That's the only one I'm like, okay. But if it's high school, absolutely not.
It gives me
Absolutely
that
not.
vibe.
college.
of that
Like
dude.
I understand, like 18 is like the age where it's
That's
like
so
okay.
young. 18's
still
so young.
so
Baby.
young.
A
I think back
baby.
to when I was 18. I was a fucking child. I didn't know
You're
anything.
so stupid. You're so
I'm still
malleable.
a
Like
child.
you know what I mean. It's still uncomfortable to me. But we're talking about illegal joining,
Yeah.
and like if I think about this, like think about right now you having sex with a 16-year-old.
Oh my god, that makes me want to throw up. I'm not even. That like made my stomach hurt.
Oh God.
Like why are we writing that?
Yeah, that's the thing.
A lot of people don't like a lot of the tropes that I like, which sucks because
Like what?
like a lot of people hate fated mates. I love
I
fated
hate.
mates.
Okay, there it is. My worst trope of all.
Fated
I'm
mates.
sitting here thinking
I
like
think it
I don't know if
depends.
I don't like
I think it
tropes.
depends on how it's done. So like
No,
if
it's
it's done
terrible.
where it's the first, it's it's the first thing she's like, she's my mate. That's it. Protect.
It's terrible.
No,
I love it.
I
hate
still
mates.
want
I
to
always
have. I
love
think
it.
it's because I
So fucking corny.
you know what it is.
I always
I'm
love
that
it.
person that if you tell me to do something, I'm gonna do the opposite.
Yeah.
So I want the free will aspect of it still.
Yeah.
So
Erica,
if there's
why
no
you
will,
also-
then
I-
how do you know you love them if there's no will involved?
Exactly.
I also love
Exactly.
Insta-lust. A lot of
It's
people hate
bullshit.
Hate
Insta-lust.
Insta-lust.
Yeah.
But I think it's such a human experience.
I don't care about insta lust. It's insta love that I'm like, come on.
You know what? There it is.
But
But
I-
you're
Yeah.
right. Insta
Yeah.
love is what I don't like.
It
I
doesn't make
don't mind
sense.
insta lust.
I think it's also a very human experience.
I've
where
never
you, like,
fallen in love
you
with
meet
somebody. in all
somebody
2
and you are
minutes.
just so connected, and you're like, this person, like, we
maybe
have
Mike.
such a
Yeah.
connection to. What I don't,
No, it's true.
what I don't
felt
love
big
all
must
the
be
time
nice.
is like a short proximity, like when like they meet and 2 weeks later they're married. Like I hate that.
To be honest, though, no, that's a lie. I wasn't in that position. But when I first met Mike and I spent one night with him, I left and I told like,
I absolutely knew.
yeah, I told like 4 people that I was going to marry him.
Absolutely.
Would I have married him 2 weeks later? Probably not. I was in a different like headspace at that time. So.
Absolutely. Me and
Yeah.
I knew from the third date from John that,
Isn't that
we
wild?
were gonna be together forever.
So I do think it exists.
I
but
do too, but I don't think that
It's the,
people.
like,
I
yeah.
don't think people with billions of dollars and billionaire romances are like, "Yep, I'm gonna marry this girl, no prenup after fucking 2 weeks." Like, I think that's absolutely asinine, and I
Yeah.
do think that when you're in,
Why
like,
do
a-
you like fated mates so much?
I
need
don't
to
know. I just love that trope. I love that like divine like destiny type like
Yeah.
soulmate.
It's cool
connection.
when it takes.
'Cause I
some
don't
time to
believe it.
find
I
each
don't
other.
believe it in real life.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Because I don't believe in soulmates.
No.
Mm-mm.
There's just so many people in the world.
There's too many people in the world. The logistics are a nightmare.
Logistics are
I
enough.
thought of that. I'm like, well, if it's soulmates, I'm
And when you
fucked.
take into account,
Billions of people.
and when you take into account free will, never mind. Like it's over. You know what I mean? Like think about how many people are not alive, or like their path was different because of one singular decision they made. Or,
True.
like,
True.
have you ever like almost got into a car accident that you thought you were like could have died in? Like there's
Yeah.
so many moments in like a single person's like day that happened like that, and you're telling me that there's one single person that we both made it through together.
Maybe.
Bullshit.
Maybe it's you and
That's
John.
bullshit. If you told me that you had multiple soulmates,
I think if you look at it in a different perspective, where like that person ended up exactly where they needed to be in the same exact spot as you, like that in some way is fate. And like, I don't know, man.
I don't not believe in fate. I just don't believe that there's a one singular human that has been made, created
Yes.
for you, that is your
Sure.
partner in life.
I think that's fair. And is it monogamous, polyamorous? Polyamorous people would agree.
I don't know if they believe in soulmates.
Oh, true. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, neither do we.
Hey, there's-
Is that what we just said?
There is a bunch of tropes though that I hate, and I do make videos about them a lot.
What's the other trope?
I don't remember all of them now, but that's what I'm saying. Like
The
I feel like
floor
I
is yours.
I feel like I talk about them a lot.
Yeah, because you're telling us which ones you love.
I don't like sports romances.
Same.
I'll never get into a sports
I hate
romance.
sport-
I don't think.
and
I've
the-
never tried it though.
The number one reason is because athletes are dirty fucking assholes. Like I don't.
Stinky.
Depends on which.
Stinky.
Hockey players, yeah.
Stinky.
Gross.
They're all fucking grimy assholes. They
Not
all are.
all of
they
them.
are.
That's such a lie.
I also don't like the like musician trope.
Oh, I hate it.
I
Hate
don't
it.
like
Same
musicians in general.
I don't like when they're
so-
famous. I don't like the
Same.
famous
Eh,
non-famous
hate it.
person. Like I don't care for those.
I don't even love royalty.
There's
I'm okay with royalty, I guess, but it depends on how it is.
Like the royalty bodyguard trope is not like for me.
I like it.
royalty bodyguard.
There's one of the
There's
Twisted
so many
series,
things.
Twisted Games, I think it is. It's her bodyguard and she's a princess. She's almost like it reminded me of Princess Diaries. If I'm honest.
I've gone to reach to read that book so many times because I like Anna Huang, but
What about cyborgs,
liked it.
Erica?
The thing about Anna Huang is that those books are pretty
Cyborgs.
long.
Erica loves a good cyborg.
I think I have read a cyborg one that I
We were talking
didn't
about
know
the
it was a
princess one.
cyborg because he was an alien and he like ended up having to get cyborg parts.
I don't think I could do Alien. I
Your
know I
life
read Ice
is
Planet,
so-
but like I don't think I could.
I've fallen so fucking deep into alien romance and I love it. It's like my
I
comfort
don't think I
read right now.
can. I don't think I can.
I
do
don't
it.
know what the fuck it is. I've been reading fucking scaled lizards and the weirdest fucking shit, and I'm like, this is
I love
eating
this.
it up like
Top
it's good
tier.
soup.
Have you
like-
ever watched Doctor Who? I feel like you'd be really into it.
No, I have like dabbled, but I don't always love the Doctor.
Yeah, you have to watch just season 2 and 3, basically, and 4.
So
Yeah, that's fair. But I just like picturing you. I just never pictured you as the person that would be into like,
aliens.
yeah. But I
I
guess
think-
one's written in the
I
way.
think part of it is because like it's like such a different world too. Like it's still fantasy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I like that aspect that we're like not on Earth.
But it's still like science fiction. Like, I didn't think you liked sci-fi.
I didn't think I did as much as I do.
All it takes is a blue dick or like an alien dick, and then you're
I
sold.
really like that like primitive like type thing.
That's what
too.
it is. Boom, we've hit the root.
Well, no, because not all of them are like that. Some of them are like.
There's a root to all of this. Erica really wants to get abducted. Maybe 10 years ago, Erica would have loved to have gotten abducted by an alien, a hot alien.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Wild Wild West, but like space.
Such a weird fantasy, but I love it. I'm here for it.
Cowboy, like, there's a lot of tropes that I would not like in real life. Like cowboy romances, love them. Real life, absolutely fucking.
You
not.
like cowboy romances?
Love cowboy romances.
Damn.
But, like,
Maria,
who wants to be
help me out
fucking
here.
on a ranch?
Cowboys?
I love horses.
Have you
Who
read any
wants-
cowboy
I, like,
romance?
I don't think I could. I don't think I could
Have I
live
what?
in the middle
read
of
any
nowhere.
cowboy romances?
I read one. Well, he's a bull rider. That
Yeah.
Elsie Silver, is that her name? Elsie
Yeah.
Silver, Heartless, I think it's called.
Did you like
or
it?
Reckless? No,
Oh, okay.
I thought it was. You know what? I just didn't care for it. And he had long hair, and I'm not into long hair on men.
Ooh, same.
Should we pause here and go for
Yeah.
the next one?
Yeah. All right, we're going to cut this in half because we did get a lot of people sending in recommendations for things we should talk about. So if you sent one in and you haven't heard it yet, we may be talking about it in the next episode. So stick around for that. Thank you so much for joining us. Follow us on Instagram, books_and_betches, BETCHES. That's where we usually ask these questions and have places for you to submit them.
What are you doing?
Erica's being weird. Everybody have a really great time. Bye.